all plants in its lane, turning any plant it kills into a gravestone. Additionally, it is immune to being eaten by Chomper. When its newspaper breaks, it damages all plants around itself, moves 7 times faster, and does 12 times more damage than the vanilla newspaper zombie. I wish I were making up these numbers. But how did it kill us instantly previously then? Well, it's actually a buff all newspaper zombies have. They now teleport to the first plant in front of themselves when their newspaper gets destroyed. So, how much health does Doomspaper Zombie have? Well, just a casual 10 times more health than a vanilla newspaper zombie. To put that into perspective, that's more than a Gargantuar, and it survives 3 explosives. Might as well forget about killing this using attacking plants. It's not entirely impossible to stop them though. Since its spell does percentage-based damage, it can't kill our puff shrooms instantly. Plus, we can use puff shrooms that are shrunk twice or more to bypass the Doomspaper and damage the zombie directly, weakening it enough for a potato mine to finish the job. But relying on puff shroom might as well be suicidal, since it only takes one foreign zombie to ruin our entire plan. So, I then came up with this setup, which filters out the basic zombies of snow peas, allowing chompers to clean up the newspaper zombies when they teleport forward. Now, I'm not even sure why I tried this, considering newspaper zombies don't get eaten by chompers. I basically had to throw away everything I had at just one of them. Even with Cherry Bomb, it only died after I sacrificed several chump blockers to stall for time. And throw in just one more newspaper zombie into the mix, and we've got ourselves an undefendable position. Funny thing is that it was actually a different newspaper zombie behind it that teleported into our house that killed us. I then tried subbing in Repeater for Chomper, but that made things even worse because even in regular newspaper zombies have a ton of health, about as much as a football zombie in vanilla, so not using instant kills against them is just a death wish. And that's the problem with any setup without chompers. We simply lose too much of our defense to regular newspaper zombies, and when Doomspaper zombies come, they deal the final blow and finish us off. But when I tried the level with only chompers and instant kills, I was consistently losing to just basic zombies by the final wave because of how many there were, and we simply get overwhelmed by their sheer numbers. Even Doomflowers can't save us, as just the regular newspaper zombies need 4 Doomsuns to be killed, and we simply get overwhelmed too quickly to make any counterplay. It seems like this level might just be impossible after all. But then, I thought of something. I can actually avoid the newspaper zombies from being enraged if I can somehow synchronize the Doomflowers to produce enough Doomsuns at the same time. And after many test runs, I refined and defined a method to actually pull this off in game. The plan being to plant a sunflower 25 seconds apart from each other to synchronize when they produce sun. And how am I going to count 25 seconds? Well, I had the stopwatch app pulled up on my phone to time things properly, and as you can see, planting my third sunflower on the 25th second synced it up with the first sunflower to produce sun at the same time. But it's not over yet, since I still needed a lot more sunflowers to pull this off, so I defended the early game with as few plants as possible, ensuring that we salt every wave to get as many sunflowers as possible. I got pretty lucky with not too many Doomspaper zombies spawning early on, and I was able to sync up 6 sunflowers together. After that, I converted those 6 sunflowers to Doomflowers to see for myself whether this would finally work, and to my surprise, it actually did. All the newspaper zombies died at the same time without ever having a chance to destroy our defense. Just making sure I would be safe, I placed my potato mines and walnuts to deal with the several newspaper zombies that did come, and they were easy work since there weren't like 10 other things we had to deal with. And somehow, this strategy where I use a stopwatch to time when to plant every sunflower actually ends up beating the level, without even using any lawnmowers. Just wow. Now the stopwatch seems kind of overpowered, but Tuna Pea Shooter zombies are why we can't just do the same thing again next level. We're actually forced to use Sunshroom for this level since sunflowers get hit by Zombatini peas, and we'll need the Sunshroom for its immunity to Zombatini peas because my god, the Pea Shooter zombies got a disgusting buff that makes them hit multiple lanes at once. But besides that, the Sunshroom also got a massive rework in its mod, storing the sun it produces in its body, and also growing faster with fewer Sunshrooms in its lane. More interestingly are the enraged sun shrooms, which are basically mini doom flowers that only affect a small area around themselves, but produce sun instead of losing a sun. The downside is that they lose health every time they do that, so it's not reliable for long-term defense. But speaking of long-term defense, good luck to anyone trying to get up a permanent defense against Kona MP shooter zombies. How is anyone able to make any progress against this nonsense? Even by the first flag, I still only had 2 repeaters and puff shrooms. And I was actually able to get around that because I had Potato Mine and Cherry Bomb as part of my loadout. Since all the zombies are slow moving in this level, I could just spam all my repeaters, puff shrooms, walnuts, and sun shrooms into the top 2 lanes, while I simply alternated between Potato Mine and Cherry Bomb to defend the bottom 3 lanes. This ridiculously scuffed defense makes no sense in any other scenario, and this actually works thanks to the enraged sun shrooms providing the little bit of splash damage we need. So, despite it looking extremely hard at first, I was able to beat the level on my first try. We finally unlocked the 7th slot at the start of 2-3, which will be pretty useful against the Screen Door Zombie and a Riot Shield Zombie. My god. Screen Door Zombie and its variants can now spawn in the first wave, and we can immediately see that the Riot Shield Zombie is 100% immune to all explosives. Yeah, it survives a whole ass bomb in its face, but dies to a small mushroom that shoots tiny spores. Makes sense to me. What makes even less sense are the Fume Shroom's variants. The Icy Fume Shroom seems pretty overpowered, slowing down 3 lanes of zombies at once, and also freezing those that don't have any headwear. But its fumes do not pierce through riot shields and do low damage. And coming up next are the Screen Door Zombies. Alright, I'm sorry, I'll stop saying that. It's basically just like how a shield zombie works in PvZ 2, blocking up stray projectiles like icicles from hitting zombies behind it. But Icy Fume Shrooms will pierce through the shield, which ends up making them really easy to kill most of the time. Fume Shroom also has another variant, the Toxic Shroom, which poisons zombies that it hits, but has a more limited range of only 4 columns. Now, technically Toxic Shrooms can pierce through Riot Shields, but the Riot Shield prevents the zombie from taking any poison damage, so in practice, Toxic Shrooms are useless against it. Not only that, the Riot Shield itself has 2000 health and stops icicles from splitting, so they're incredibly tanky when we don't have a proper counter. They can't even get eaten by chompers. I suppose the modder added this zombie just to make sure we can't spam instant kills after they saw how much we used them in the TD mod. But you won't have to wait for puff shrooms to shrink every time to counter them. The default fume shroom pierces through the Riot Shield, which I found out a bit late, but the level was pretty easy, so it didn't matter. But by now, you must have noticed that there are no naturally spawning gravestones. So what does Gravebuster do? Well, how it works is actually too complicated to explain in detail, but all you need to know is that it summons a few snow peas that do some damage, slow zombies down, and generate some sun and recharges our seed packets faster. Now, I went with snow peas and fume shims again since they did well in the last level. However, this level is twice as long as well, so there are more toxic cone heads. All the splash damage I had meant I was killing them too quickly, and I ended up killing my own defense instead. Whoops. So I tried green shadows instead of snow peas afterwards to reduce our damage output while having the stalling we need against pole vaulters, but even then, our fume shoots were still wrecking the toxic cones too quickly somehow, and I killed my own defense again. And after a bit more trial and error, I removed the toxic shrooms from the lineup and replaced them with regular repeaters. That was enough to reduce our damage output enough to not die to the toxic coneheads, but still gave us enough to survive against the pole vaulters. Balancing my defense to play around toxic coneheads is not very interesting, but very soon, we will unlock a plant that solves that problem. Before that, we have to get through the probably impossible new and not improved version of Whack-a-Zombie. Even basic zombies require 3 whacks to kill now, and even the spawn rate in this level is 12 times higher. So, just imagine how easy this level is when we have to contend with newspaper zombies that take 10 whacks to kill and riot shield zombies that take 20 whacks to kill. Yeah, I mean, good luck trying to do this on a mouse instead of a touchscreen, and I think it's pretty fair to say that I'm not skilled enough at the art of clicking to beat this since the game is spawning a zombie from every gravestone at once. And I didn't want to be stuck here just practicing my clicking skills, so I just got an auto clicker to help me out and get past this level and return to normal PvZ. We unlocked the 8th slot at Hypnotion for beating 2-5, but I'll explain what it does later, because I have to deal with the football zombie that now literally throws footballs at us first. I mean, that is absolutely diabolical to make it actually attack the footballs, so we'll need plenty of walnuts to prevent those footballs from hitting our outer plants. Now, the new Hypno Shroom. They're not even an instant kill anymore, as they now fire laser beams that attack an entire lane of zombies at once, and it actually does quite good damage. More than Fume Shroom does in this mod. And my god, I've been anticipating unlocking Hypno Shroom because they counter toxic coneheads, since their laser beams destroy poison bottles. But we've got bigger fish to fry with the new Giga Football Zombie variant, which charges and pushes zombies forward while significantly damaging the plant it charges at. these guys have twice the health of a regular football zombie, so even a cherry bomb won't kill them. And they will keep charging once every 3 seconds. I got very unlucky with the zombie spawn since another Giga Football zombie in the wave after went to the bottom lane as well, and that was the end of that. Oh, but if you thought Giga Football zombies are pretty stupid already, then you're not ready for the Sword Master zombies that move even faster than them. It does 10 times the damage of a regular football zombie, becoming enraged for 2 seconds every 6 seconds. Even if you plant a walnut to halt it in place, it gets rid of the walnut in like 5 seconds, and on top of that, clogging with chop blockers like Sunshrooms makes the situation even worse, since they teleport forward if they kill a plant while enraged. Like, what the heck is even going on anymore? Now, you may think Doom Flowers would just easily beat every level on their own now that we have Hypnoshroom, but there's a new problem with this. You see, regular sunflowers usually produce sun every 25 seconds, but that has been changed for all nighttime levels after 2-1, to once every 50 seconds instead. Which, yeah, that's way too slow to be reliable against the Sword Master zombies that come in and wreck your entire defense in like 10 seconds. So much for Hypnoshroom deleting the poison bottles when we can't even use Doom Powers for their damage anymore. And since football zombies can literally spawn the first wave, finding an efficient solution that worked against them in the early game but also survived long enough was seemingly impossible. Puffshrimps would help us early on, but it would completely fall off when the stronger variants came, and our defense would just crumble. We can't even use Chompers to instant kill them, since Chompers can't kill football zombies. Just the sheer quantity of them makes it absolutely ridiculous, since Walnut just doesn't recharge fast enough. That's not to mention we also have to contend with buckethead zombies at this level, and to build up any meaningful defense is simply impossible. Now, it may seem we're screwed, but see, spamming the hell out of Snow Peas and repeaters would usually be terrible, since we would just end up dying to the toxic components. But you know what solves that problem? Well, that's why Hypnoshroom is the holy grail. Negating the effects of toxic coordinates means I can use as many DPS plants as I want, and on top of that, I don't need to spend a lot of stun on just negating the poison bottles. It basically made us go from completely losing to completely winning. And it's fair to say that it's the best plant in the entire mod just for this utility, and just so you see how useful it is in the later levels. But now, we just unlocked the second best plant in the game. Now, how on earth is Scaradishroom supposed to be the second best plant if it only costs us 50 sun? Well, it now fires air blasts that not only push back zombies, but also do massive damage and pierce through them. Yes, it's two-shotting basic zombies, for only 50 sun. But the most absurd part of it is that if a zombie gets close to it, it puts up an infinite-like force field that has infinite health for 80 seconds, then starts shooting out air blasts in 3 lanes instead. The plant also takes 90% less damage from football zombies. Yeah, maybe this should cost 500 sun and not 50 for such overpowered abilities. The only weakness it even has is that its force field doesn't protect itself, but that's barely a problem since you can just stack multiple Scaradishroom in the same lane to prevent anything from even touching it. So I don't think anyone would be surprised by the fact that I beat the level on my first try. I mean, it wasn't even close to a challenge since having a new infinite health force field every 18 seconds for only 50 sun, yeah, that's pretty stupid. Now, I thought we were just gonna cruise through the rest of the game with Scaradishroom, but I wasn't even close to prepared against the dancing zombies of this mod. No, they're not just moving 3 times faster and spawn backup dancers that fire literal shockwaves at our plants. They even block our vision temporarily. Oh, and they also do splash damage around themselves, so it wrecked 4 lanes of plants in 10 seconds. But it gets worse with the RGB dancing zombie variant, which spawns RGB backup dancers that instantly explode whatever is in front of them with a red laser. And the dancing zombie spawns a poison bottle every 5 seconds. And the RGB backup dancers switch between RGB laser beams. The green one will poison our plants and the blue one will slow down our plants. That's if any plants are still alive for them to kill if it didn't get obliterated already. Perfectly balanced game. Now obviously, I had to try the infinite HP force field, but of course, the modder already thought of that and made the RGB laser beams ignore it, so they insta-explode our Scaradishrooms just like any other plant. Now what? Not even Doom Flowers will do anything since there's only a 2-second window for our Doom Suns to be effective. As soon as the RGB backup dancers spawn, the entire defense gets cooked within an instant, and the next thing you know, the next wave is already here with even more RGB dancing zombies just in case there's still something alive. The only viable counter is to instant kill all the RGB dancing zombies before they summon the backup dancers. I would count Ishroom as an instant kill since they now heavily damage zombies with icicles, which is enough to kill them sometimes. But since the only instant kill that I've unlocked are Ishroom and Cherry Bomb, I can't possibly win if just more than 2 RGB dancing zombies spawn. And since RGB backup dancers have even more health than a football zombie, they're basically impossible to kill. Between the Zombocracy Peas, the RGB laser beams, the poison bottles, and the flag zombie, we're cooked through and through to medium rare perfection. There's no way to arrange and position the plants to avoid them from getting killed. You can choose to get exploded by the laser beams or die in 1 second to the cone of future zombies. Mind you, this is not even the last level or the second to the last level of the world, so I was pretty lost as to what I could do to beat this level. Nothing I tried even came close to working, and it just seemed like countering the dancing zombies was impossible without instant kills. But thank God I was live streaming, because I had viewers who were able to give me ideas on how to beat this level. So KL in the 2-dimensional hypercuboid, Scaredy Shroom plus Walnut at the top, all the way at the front. It dies quickly, but allows you to deal with the previous wave, both by blocking Ps, but by also triggering the wave the dancings early. I can see it. So, you're saying we're gonna use the force field from the Scaredy Shroom just to block off the zombies. They can deal with 2 waves at once, leave the other lanes empty, and we're just gonna potato mine them down. So basically, we don't even care about all in Scaredy Shroom, and we go choppers. I don't know if we get clear the hordes in lane 1. I guess that's gonna be used to kill the things in lane 1. Hold on, this guy might be cooking here. I don't know how I didn't think of this, but I don't have to kill the zombies if I just infinite stall them with Scaredy Shroom, and I just need to defend its lane with 1 walnut. Just one problem with that is that I went into this without actually considering how to kill the zombies afterwards, so when the force field expired, I just wasted most of my instant kills against the regular zombies when I could have just kept stalling everything with more Scaredy Shrooms towards the back, using up all my counters against the dancing zombies. Yeah, in hindsight, it's almost as if I was trying to lose intentionally. So I played it a bit smarter than Nick's attempt, stacking up potato mines in the back, and no, I didn't forget I could just place my Scaredy Shroom a column further back this time. I pretty much corrected every mistake I made, stopped the zombies from reaching the potato mines I had in the back, and avoided wasting my choppers on random zombies, and instead utilized enraged sun shrooms. So when the RGB dancing zombies arrived, I was able to deal with them and actually survive, making it to the first flag, which is a massive improvement from my first run. The only misplay I made in this entire run was just me being slow on my ice shroom on the first flag, so I ended up wasting a potato mine against brown coat zombies. And I was still looking pretty solid with all my lawnmowers, but that potato mine in lane 4, which doesn't seem to matter at all, would ultimately change everything for me. That is because by the final wave, I needed just 1 more potato mine in lane 4 to kill the dancing zombies there. Now, I could have done nothing here and just hoped my cherry bomb would recharge in time to deal with lane 4, but looking at the cooldown, that was probably too slow. And so, I placed the chomper in lane 4, which inadvertently gave the RGB backup dancers a target to explode up, killing my potato mine in lane 3. Yeah, this could have been avoided if I had just 1 more potato mine. So, you can just imagine how much of a setback that was for me. Not only did I lose, but I was frustrated and upset at myself. And after that, I just wasn't playing as well as I could have. However, what's really ironic about it all is that this would ultimately help me win later on. I was so upset about it all that I somehow ended up mistiming my cherry bomb, and it got instantly destroyed by Zombatini Ps. But that mistake I made because I was frustrated, it coincidentally let my lawnmowers activate at just the right time on the final wave, killing all the dancing zombies before they spawn anything, and isolating the flag zombie from the rest of the crowd. It allowed me to take it down with a chopper and walnut, leaving us with just brown coat zombies in 3 lanes that the lawnmowers missed at the end. Yeah.